If I move from here and go over there and sit with my Democrat friends, which will make them real nervous, does Google track my movement? Does Google, through this phone, know that I have moved here and moved over to the left?
Not by default. There may be a Google service which you've opted into use, and if
So Google knows that I am moving over there. It's not a trick question. You know, you make $100 million a year, you ought to be able to answer that question. Does Google know through this phone that I am moving over there and sitting next to Mr. Johnson? It's yes or no.
I won't be able to answer without looking at.
You can't say yes or no.
Without knowing more details.
Yes or no?
I genuinely don't know without knowing
I'm
what
shocked you
services.
don't know. I think Google obviously does.
Would you agree to allow an independent entity to study your search results for political bias? I know you have individuals studying that now, but you appointed them. Would you allow
The process.
Well,
and so
my
we have-
time is up. Let me just say I disagree. I think humans can manipulate the process. It is a human process at its base. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yield back.
Have you considered having an online school that people could go to with a Google rep, and you could kind of log in and kind of ask questions or have Google, and not like Comcast where you get put on hold for 30 minutes and then find somebody who you can't understand?